GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
Coming to you live from Rochester, New York, this is the FTW Podcast with John Cimino and Brandon Gorell. And now, here's John.
Hola! How's it going, everybody? Yes. Oh, go on. You're going to say hola. Hola.
¿Cómo está?
Yes, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FTW Podcast. We are back in the swing of things again after some illnesses, but
yeah,
you know, if it's not me, it has been a hell of a early winter, man. You know,
yeah.
If I'm not sick, you know, then I get better and you get sick, and then it's like, what the hell, you know? And
then we get
like
a foot and a half of snow.
Yeah,
and like sub-zero temperatures.
Oh, there's those little fuckers. Yeah, they're back now.
Oh no.
Yeah, those little bastards above the ceiling now. Whatever.
Whatever.
Soon enough, you pricks. Anyways, John Cimino at the JC Money here. My co-host, Mr. Brandon Gorell at Brandon S. Gorell there. Brandon, say hello.
What up?
And of course, we are presented today with no commercial interruptions because of your support using shopgear.com. And of course, we always recommend if you use Amazon to do any shopping, please use our link to get there, whether it's on gearnetwork.com, whether it's on betterlifethandead.com, or our direct link, shopgear.com, which takes you right to your Amazon account. You do all your shopping. That helps us out. We get a small commission from your purchases. Of course, if you don't like Amazon, we got a cool little PayPal button. Oh, no, don't do that. Well, I mean, do that, but don't do that. We got a PayPal button on the main page of Gear Network. You can donate to us via PayPal. We would appreciate that. But thank you anyways for supporting, and thanks for tuning in and listening. And on today's show, Brandon, we're just straight talking football today. There are only two remain. The New England Patriots, or Golden State Warriors of the NFL, if you will.
No way.
Against the Los Angeles Rams.
Hold up. We are not going to associate them with the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors are, because they cheap that shit, man. The Patriots are going out and signing a bunch of free agents, superstars, and like the second best players in the league and best centers in the league to come and like continue their dominance. Like the Patriots just keep doing what they're doing with what they have. They draft more guys and then just go with it.
Would it have been fair to be like,
they stand by their own?
Would it have been fair to say the Cleveland Cavaliers in the last 4 years? Could we have compared them to the Cleveland Cavaliers?
No. Because they still went out and got guys, too. We got Kevin Love.
Yeah. Kevin Love, Julian Edelman.
LeBron came back. Yeah, but
LeBron, Brady.
Was drafted there.
Who was drafted there? Edelman was drafted there, you said?
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was a quarterback. He was a backup quarterback. Just no. The Patriots are on a class of their own.
Well, anyways, the Patriots against the Los Angeles Rams. Two left. We'll talk about that. The controversies, though, for those two teams getting there, the AFC and NFC championship games, respectively, we will talk about that. And, of course, we will wrap it up by making our Super Bowl predictions and whatever else may come within the time frame that we are on the air. But first, Mr. Brandon Gorell, how the hell are you?
I'm good, man. I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm down to the last 6 weeks of these aligners. Actually, 4 weeks of the aligners, 2 weeks of retainers, and then it's just bedtime only. No more aligners, no more bullshit. It's pretty great.
Right. All right. Well, that's cool. Very good. Yep. You know who's not feeling good right now, though, Brandon? The entire city of New Orleans.
Salty.
They are salty as hell.
Yeah.
I don't quite get what why they're. I mean, I get it. Yeah. Their team lost.
Yep,
I get it.
It sucks.
But in the same, it's, some of the things that are going on, some of the things that they're talking about, you know what, just for the hell of it, we're going to go through the game rundown really quickly. The Saints were up 13-0 at the end of the first. They had an early lead. all things looked well. And then coming back, the Rams ended up scoring 10 in the second. So it was 13-10 at the half. Rams and Saints hit 7 apiece in the third. And then finally, the Rams ended up getting 6 points in the fourth. Saints only scored 3, but the Rams 6, of course, came at the expense of a blown pass interference call. Actually, I don't want to say it was at the expense now that I think about it, but there was a blown pass interference call, which everybody saw, and it was clear as day. That was pass interference. That was a blown call. There's a question that I actually have for you that I want to ask your opinion on with this, as far as the refs go with that. But notwithstanding, the game goes into overtime, and the Rams, of course, they kick a 57-yard field goal in overtime. Greg Zuerlein, Mr. Money over there, 57-yard field goal, sends the Los Angeles Rams to the Super Bowl. Brandon, overall, your thoughts on the game? I know the pass interference thing is all everybody talks about. That said, was that the be-all, end-all for that game? Was that the reason the Saints lost? Or was it more, okay, that was a sucky thing that happened, but there were other coaching opportunities that were done by Sean Payton that he could have done better to maybe not be in that situation?
Oh, yeah,
a penny for your thoughts. A penny for your thoughts with that.
Oh, I'll give you a lot more than a penny for my thoughts. So that whole, I've always been against saying, oh, the refs cost us a game. The only way you can say that the ref literally cost you a game is when you have a 0.0 opportunity after the call is made to win the game. So if you're throwing a final pass in the end zone in a game and say it looks like a catch, but it's not, they rule it not a catch, and they overturn it, and you lost the game at 0 time left. Or, they say you didn't get into the end zone, and, it cost you there. Or there was a, holding call or whatever that, stopped the field goal from happening, that backed you out of position and you missed. Those things I can say, okay. Or like the Fail Mary. Sure, I'll give you that. But they had the ball. And that point, I want to first bring up, let's call out Sean Payton. You're down that close to the red zone. And right. You've got that little time left. Most coaches in the NFL, I know what Bill Belichick's doing, handoff, kick the field goal. They want to go burn all their timeouts out of them, run down the clock. If they get another first down running, great. If they get a touchdown running, great. That's a bonus. But your job, when you get down under the 2 minutes and then you got limited timeouts on the other side, what you're supposed to do is hand the ball off, keep the clock running, make them burn their timeouts. If they had done that instead of throw the ball at all, okay, they would have 0 timeouts left and about 38 seconds left on the clock to get down the field to kick a tying field goal. But Sean Payton, Mr. Offensive Genius, right, decides to throw it twice on that drive, or on that sequence of events, gets a short completion, does a run, and then rather than just run it again, he decides, let's throw it. Now you are putting it in the hands of your quarterback, your wide receiver, and the referee. You take the referee out of that. The referee's not going to call anything on a running play. You're not going to lose, the stoppage of the clock. But instead, ref misses a pass interference call, which was blatant. I'm not saying it isn't a penalty, but you shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. You should have been handing the ball off right there, and it would have been, they would already burn their timeout from the previous one. Okay. Mm-hmm. And they would have been, okay, now you have a minute and 38 seconds left, or minute 28, I think it was. Hand the ball off, play and run for about 4 to 5 seconds. Then the clock runs, and you get down to about, what, about a minute?
Little under a minute? Roughly, yes.
A little under a minute. And then you kick the field goal, and there's some time run off on that. And then you're down to like anywhere from 38 to 42 seconds left with no timeouts.
With no timeouts. And a 3-point lead, and Todd Gurley not playing well, and admitting he was not playing well at all.
Todd Gurley's not going to do shit on that last drive anyways, because they have to chuck the ball down the field. With 38 seconds left, Todd Gurley's, I don't care if he's running for 300 yards that game, he's not going to get the ball because you have no timeouts left. You can't run the ball anymore. So instead, you throw an incomplete pass, stops the clock. You get a run, clock is running. You run it down, you throw an out pass, hoping that you're going to get a completion and a first down, and second of all, that pass was thrown to the sideline. He catches that ball, he's going out of bounds. So it made no sense anyways what the hell they're doing, throwing over in that corner. The ball's incomplete. Rams get to save their last time out, and the clock stops with over a minute and some change left. And then they kick a field goal, take the lead. Defense can't step up. Defense can't, protect the sidelines, protect the middle of the field and the big plays from them getting down the field and kicking a field goal. They didn't. They got down the field, kicked the field goal. Then you go to the overtime. You're tied up. You win the coin toss. Then what are they doing? They're trying to chuck bombs down the field.
Right.
What the hell are you chucking bombs down the field for? Offense that's been picking apart a defense with short plays to Kamara. The guy had like 12 receptions coming out of the backfield, and they couldn't stop it. They could have chunked their way down the field, and at worst kicked a field goal.
Right. Now,
let's throw a bomb down the field. Breeze is back there for like 6-7 seconds. You're not going to have that long to throw a ball. And they got to him. They hit his arm as he's throwing, throws up a dead duck. Michael Thomas quits on the play. He tries running into the guy and drawing a flag, and he does this really horrible acting job.
Right.
And then the guy falls on his back, and the ball lands right in his lap.
Right.
And then they kick a 57-yard field goal to win the game. So I don't want to hear this bullshit of, the West cost us a trip to the Super Bowl. You also are responsible for it, too.
Right. You know what? You want to know what I think? You want to know what I think?
Losing the game. You had a chance to win.
And I know I've commented this. I've certainly commented on this in the past, in past podcasts, and even off air when we're just bullshitting watching games or whatever, that the NFL today is all about if a wide receiver does not catch a pass whatsoever, they're always looking for the flag. They're always looking for, some kind of penalty. And, that's just the way it is. It's not something that I'm saying, as a way to agree with you or put down the entire situation. That's what happens. So my opinion, when I saw that play, when I saw the infamous play, to me, that was a case of them trying their luck to see if they could get a flag. And it just didn't work. They were banking on throwing it up there and hoping that the defensive player does, quite frankly, Nickel Roby-Coleman did what they were hoping that Coleman would do what he did and get called for it. That to me seemed like that was what they were going for. They were going more for the flag and not necessarily the completion.
I think they were going for the completion. I think they were just trying to outsmart. Like they went too smart. They're too smart for their own good.
Could be. Figuring,
well, guess what? We get a first down, then we can run it down to 1 second, timeout, and kick the game-winning field goal. But even then, think about it. Even with that, they're still not having a chance,
right,
to kick that field goal. They could give 1 to 1 second, totally fuck up the snap, and then it got a little overtime anyways. Or it gets blocked, or the guy shanks it and hits a goalpost. It's not like no field goal kickers are missing kicks in the playoffs this year. I mean, look at Adam Vinatieri. The guy's almost goddamn automatic. Dings 3 off the freaking 1 off the post and pushes another one right. I mean, it's not a guarantee.
Right.
So to say that, a referee costs you a trip to the Super Bowl, and you've got this whole, like, just the whole city is sitting here outside complaining. We're not going to show the Super Bowl in bars. We're going to watch the 2010 Super Bowl.
My favorite is the rule, the random rule that the commissioner could reinstate the game from the point or whatever the hell that Michael Thomas was tweeting out or whatever. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It
never happened.
No, absolutely not. It is absolutely. The conspiracy theorists are saying, well, it sure looks like they didn't want the league didn't want Breeze versus Brady. Of course, the league would have wanted Breeze versus Brady. Are you kidding me?
What do you think is going to be a better ratings matchup?
Breeze versus Goff
versus Brady, versus Goff.
Do you know what the big storyline for this game is so far right now? The age difference between Sean McVay and Bill Belichick being the oldest gap between coaches in Super Bowl history, and the fact that Sean McVay and Julian Edelman played college football at the same time.
Yeah,
and one's a coach and one's still playing the game at a pro level. Those are the storylines. But are you kidding me? Do you think that they would have rather have had?
Well, it goes for the other game too, and then people are trying to say that the Pats were put over and screwed the Chiefs. You think they would not have liked to see Drew Brees and that offense, or even the Rams offense, versus the Kansas City Chiefs and Pat Mahomes?
Right. Correction. Future Hall of Famer Patrick Mahomes. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, let's pump the brakes a little bit there.
I've been with my homie since day one. He's my homie.
All right. Let's not get carried away. Let's get the guy get 10 years into his career before we start talking about Hall of Fame. I mean, he could blow out his knee next year and become the next Teddy Bridgewater. So
okay.
Let's not go ahead and fit him for his yellow jacket yet.
Listen, I'll tell you what, man. If he could do
good.
He's very good. And you know what? If he could do 50 touchdowns a year for 10 years, that's 500 touchdowns. Quick math. Hall of Fame. Math.
But he's got to have the players around him.
That's true.
And he's going to command some salary. He's on a rookie contract. You can pay guys right now.
Yes.
But, I mean, you look at what the Patriots did in that game. We'll talk about that in a bit. But they did what they always do. They scheme to take away your biggest weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Their biggest weapon is their wide receiver, dynamic player, Tyreek Hill. He got one catch for 43 yards in the first half. That was it.
Yep.
They neutralized him completely.
They neutralized that entire offense completely.
Yeah. Who's their second best? Their tight end.
Who was the tight end? Travis Kelce.
Yeah, Travis Kelce. I was thinking of his stupid McDonald's dance. His commercial he does now.
Yeah, well, he wasn't doing much of those dances. But you know what?
He got 3 catches for 23 yards, and it was one on a touchdown that he got lucky because he kind of did push off to get to that open space in the end zone for that one. But
all right, so let's move over to that game then. Yeah. Patriots over the Chiefs, 37-31. Yes, you already did. You took the lead and you went there. Thank you, because I've been yawning over here for a little bit because I'm getting tired. The Patriots,
my witty banter putting you to sleep.
Patriots neutralized the Chiefs the entire first half. It was 14-0 at the end of the half. Really, Brandon, could have easily been 21-0.
Yeah, Brady didn't catch the linebacker in the end zone. Right. He was kind of hidden behind the line judge. He thought he had a guy open in the middle. The guy in the middle fell down, and then it was like boop, right to the tight end. I mean, or the linebacker. I mean, they were at the 2-yard line. I mean, even Pete Carroll's like, man, you got to run that one.
I mean, the bottom line with these games here, regardless of obviously the biggest butt hurt was for the Rams Saints game. Like that's still going to this day. Talking about scheduling parades and whatever. It's so ridiculous. But the Patriots Chiefs game, to me, that offensive that defensive lining up offsides thing aside, that could have sealed the game for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was offsides. I mean,
he was offsides.
You know, you can go ahead and say, hey, well, he should have been warned. You know what? Come on.
No, you should have known. You're a professional football. You are one of the 1%.
Looking over at the football, like you've been playing football. You're a grown ass man. This isn't like Pee Wee football. You should not get a reminder,
Exactly.
Hey, buddy, you're offsides.
It's not Pee Wee football. You're right. To your point. And they are one. You look at the 11 and 11 that were on that field right there. Though that is part of the 1% of people that are being paid a wonderful amount of money to play a game that most would play for free. They're playing at the highest level. They should know where the line is.
They know where it is. He knew where it was.
Know where it
See
is.
the ball. He owned it after the game, too. The one that's complaining about it is Andy Reid, saying he should have got warned.
Right.
And the guy, you can hear him on the thing. He's like, was I really offsides? And he's just like, yeah. He's like, you were lined up over the ball. And he was just devastated that he totally blew it. He owned it after the game. He's like, I got to know where the ball is. I can't make that play. Right. He's doing it. He's owning it. But everyone else is making fucking excuses for it.
You see, and that's what, and I think that's what takes it away from me. I think I don't want all of the excuses and all of the Patriot hate, because believe me, I'm a Jets fan.
Everything.
I'm a Jets fan. This is the same division. The Patriots have been kicking the shit out of everybody for the past 20 years. But that aside, and the whole, well, I'm not watching the Super Bowl because it's another Super Bowl with the Patriots in it, and blah, 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 whatever. Don't let that distract you from the fact that this was a really good game. This ended up being a really good AFC championship. You couldn't have asked for a better AFC championship game. Oh, yes, absolutely. The NFC championship game was tremendous. But the AFC, I'm an AFC guy. So for me, I was glued. And how about Tony Romo, the MVP of that game, really? right at the very end, too.
Calling every play with precise accuracy.
It was
the guy
incredible.
He's going to go to. Oh, you got to line up Gronk on the outside. Here he is. Oh, he's going to get it, and boom, there he is.
I mean, both third down drives and the overtime where it was going to Edelman, he called it right away. Yep. He said Edelman's going right up the middle, right there. You're going to have to cover him. Boom, right to Edelman. There it is. But I mean, either way, look at the Brady. I mean, 40 years old, 41 years old, however the hell old he is. Guy's freaking 30 of 46, 348 yards, 1 touchdown. Yes, he had 2 interceptions. One of them was, a bonehead error. The other one was lost.
The other one was deflected. The other one was deflected right off of Julian Edelman's hands.
But I mean, you look at I would say arguably the biggest contributor to there, not just, Brady and his arm or whatever. Sony Michel, 29 attempts, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Running back, you in the Super Bowl, man.
Right.
Representing big time back there.
Right. So, Mahomes, 16 of 31, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns. They all came in the second half. The first half, he just, I don't want to say that it may have caught up to him, like it was too big of a stage so soon. He definitely calmed down, and the Chiefs came back and played very, very well the second half. But the bottom line is, this was a really good game, and quite frankly, the best team legitimately won this game. So now we move on to the Super Bowl here, and you hear all the feedback, and you hear all of the hate, and you hear all of the this and the that and everything else. And at what point can you take your Homer hat off and really just appreciate what you're witnessing with the Patriots in a game with a salary cap like it is? Like it's not like the NFL is not like the NBA, where they're using their television revenue on their teams and they're able to sign super long, big contracts for multiple people.
Right.
It's not like Major League Baseball, where you have the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers spend to be there every year and be in everybody's face every year. It's not like that. There's a specific salary cap. You can't exceed it. If you exceed it, you can find more money. It doesn't work like that in the NFL. So the sustainability for the New England Patriots is absolutely unheard of. And absolutely, when you look at it in a historical aspect, I mean, everybody always looks back fondly on the Cowboys teams of the 90s and the 49ers of the 80s and the Steelers of the 70s. the Packers of the 60s, like these teams here, like those dynasty teams. This Patriots run in this era of the National Football League exceeds all of those other ones beyond what they've done. And yet, for some reason, it doesn't seem that everybody appreciates that. I just help me understand why, I guess is what I'm asking here.
Because we're in a land of fucking haters, man. This is what we do. Like, we pile on. Michael Jordan would not be Michael Jordan. To be honestly,
Michael Jordan would be LeBron.
Michael Jordan would we would pile on Michael Jordan too. We'd find a way. Oh, he quit in the middle of it. Like, he's quitting because of his dad, and everyone would make fun of him. Like, we have a problem with success in the era of social media because there's so many losers that make it out there and now have a voice that all they do is spend time picking shit apart. It's beyond bananas. It doesn't matter who is successful in this country. We find a way to try to attack that. A good story comes out, we try to find holes in it. This guy is great now, but back 54 years ago, he got into trouble with the law. So all of a sudden he's a piece of shit now. Like, it's just the way it is. And so everyone will, everyone has their team. Everyone has the person that they root for. And if that person is not on their team and who they root for, well, guess what? They're just going to be a piece of shit and they're going to complain. Mm-hmm. It's the state of our entire world right now. Like, nobody can appreciate anything. Everyone's always like bitching about something. Whether it's, the speed of their cell phone, how fast their internet is, their game connection, it's bananas. Like, nobody's happy with anything. That's why there's so many divorces.
Social media has
so
truly,
shit.
And
it is.
This is a topic. This is a topic for a different. This particular thing is a different topic for a different podcast. But social media definitely has definitely ruined things for for everybody. Man. But that said, Super Bowl 53, Brandon, Sunday, February 3rd at 6:30 p.m. on the Columbia Broadcasting System, which incidentally, later on that week on Saturday, the AAF begins too, baby. Woo! But so anyways, the preseason to the AAF is the Super Bowl. And we have who we have here, the Rams wearing those beautiful blue and yellow unis for the Super Bowl. So I'm going to just put it out here. Who you got?
I got the Patriots. I just can't see 2 weeks of Bill Belichick preparing for that team. And I'm not sure Gurley's very healthy, to be honest. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure. And I think what helped the Rams get by the Saints and eke by them was the fact that they were able to get some pressure on Breeze. Just nobody's been able to touch Brady. Right. Like, he gets the ball off so goddamn quick.
Right.
It doesn't matter how good the pass rush is. I mean, the Chiefs led the league in sacks this year. They didn't touch him, like, except for the phantom touch, which, that's another one everyone's complaining about. But, he just gets rid of the ball too quick. He's too on time. One of the weaknesses of the Rams is their secondary outside of Aqib Talib. And I just don't see how, we're going to get a Rams team who's going to be on the offensive side of the ball limited, because Belichick is going to do that. He's going to find a way to take away their best weapons, which will probably be Brandon Cooks and, either Gurley or Robert Woods. They're going to make them one-dimensional. They're going to put pressure on Goff. And I think ultimately their defense is just not going to be able to do enough to get to Brady. And I think Brady's going to be on time. I think Gronk's going to have the game of his life, and I think he's going to retire after the game. And I think the Patriots are going to win their Super Bowl. And 90% of America is going to be pissed. Which is fine.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm going to I'm going to go with you as well. While it would not break my heart at all.
No, I wouldn't care. I mean, I just want a good game
to see LA, right? To see LA win the Super Bowl.
I have no hate for either team, really.
To be perfectly honest here, I mean, Tom Brady. It's all going to boil down to Belichick and Brady, as it always has. When you look at Belichick, obviously, like you said, mastermind, takes the weapons, zeroes in on the top weapon, and every team crumbles around that. You take away the top weapon, it's done. It's that's just the Patriot way. But when you go past that, you go to Tom Brady. You look at Tom Brady. Brady was the MVP last year. This year, he beat the likely MVP to get to the Super Bowl. This guy is still no joke at 41 years old. He's still no joke. And the worst thing that you could do to somebody with the mentality of Tom Brady is doubt him. And you know, he heard the cries that this was not the same Patriots team. You know, the era's over. Brady looks like he's Father Time's starting to catch up with him. Gronk's not the same.
Dude, I loved it.
It's not the same.
The game too, and Edelman's like, "You can't be doing this, man. You're fucking old. Like, you're too old." And it's like, "Yeah, we're too old. We're too slow. We're not good anymore. We suck.
And yep.
Yeah, there it is. Back at it again.
Thug Life Brady from my picture the other day, which I think
the video I posted.
No,
it's one that was posted by some Patriots fan group. It was Brady, Gronk, and Belichick, but at the beginning of the Beastie Boys video where they're like reenacting their fight for your right to party as the older guys. I forget what the name is of that song. It was on their last album that they released. But they come out and it's got the dude walking across the street, and they in the video, Mike D throws a beer across the street and hits the businessman reading his newspaper. But it's Brady as that, Gronk is the other guy, and then Belichick in the back. Mm-hmm. And they throw the beer across the street and it hits Goodell. And he's all pissed off. He's got the mad face, like, ah! Oh! It's so good. So that's well funny. Done. Brady's laughing in the picture. And so good.
That's funny. As you were talking about that, I'm kind of flipping through the news here, and 12 Up's reporting, well, not necessarily reporting, but blogging, which I'm thinking is completely clickbait.
12 Up is garbage.
They are terrible. They are terrible.
Is it about Le'Veon Bell wanting to play in
No,
Miami?
No, it was about the Patriots injury report being, quote, suspicious. I didn't even bother. Because the Patriots injury report is always suspicious, and then it turns out nobody's injured. It just gets people talking. That's what they do. But anyways, back to my prediction. I got the Patriots. I say the Patriots win. To your point, Gronk is going to retire. Something tells me if Brady wins, I think he will strongly consider retiring. If he doesn't win,
not retiring.
What's that?
Brady's not retiring.
You don't think he's retiring even with a win?
Nope. I don't think so. I think he just wants to keep winning.
Well, for the sake of, I guess Patriot fans, I'm sure they would want that. As a guy that has learned incredibly to take his homer hat off and appreciate the game, I wouldn't mind seeing it, because you don't know when you're going to see something like this again.
No,
you don't.
That's why I appreciate it.
You thought that with all of the other dynasties. You thought that with Montana, it was, you don't know when you're going to see Montana do it. And he almost did it with the Chiefs, but when he was gone, it was like, damn, I remember when I saw him look at and point it and say, "Oh, is that John Candy over there? Cool. Let's drive down and win the game." These are the moments that you're going to be able to say, just like my father before me would talk to me about Johnny Unitas and Joe Namath and those names of the older NFL and the dynasties, and talk about the purple people eaters. And like things like that are in lore now that you're kind of like, whoa, cool. Those are, that's cool history to learn. Like we're actually living it right now. And when you look at it from those eyes, I mean, how cool is it to be able to say, yeah, 10, 15 years down the line when Brady finally retires, we can say we saw his first Super Bowl against the St. Louis Rams. We could see his sixth Super Bowl win against the Los Angeles Rams. We could, and then who knows, by 2035, when he finally decides to hang it up, it could be, he could have beaten the London Rams. Who knows? But the point is this is a history that we aren't going to see, very likely are not going to see a stretch of 20 years of complete dominance and being up in everybody's face and constantly winning and adapting and changing who you are to whatever year you're in.
Right.
You're not going to see this again is what I'm getting at. You're not going to see this again. And
no.
and in another concept,
you're going to. I mean,
in another perspective, 53 Super Bowls, 11 of them the Patriots have been in.
Yeah,
9 of them have had Brady and Belichick.
Right.
I mean,
and here's the other issue with it too, and this is why it's going to be really difficult to repeat. So you see the league, and it's trying to get like more offensive minded, and we're getting all these offensive young coaches and all these smart minds and stuff. But at the end of the day,
not the Jets. They get Adam Gase.
Well, he's still an offensive guy. The recurring theme is that defense wins championships, and Belichick is a defensive minded coach. He helps scheme with the defensive coordinator. He helps eliminate the other team's biggest weapons, and it never seems to fail. He always figures it out. They're not perfect, and they've had some bad lucks in those 2 losses that they had. If David Tyree doesn't pin that ball against his helmet, they probably lose that Super Bowl, and the Patriots have an undefeated season and a Super Bowl.
Right.
If Wes Welker doesn't fall down and drop a ball that he was wide open for a touchdown to seal the game against the Giants in that game, they probably win that Super Bowl too. So, they had some bad luck in losing those 2, but that team, like, it always seems to rise to the occasion. It's very hard to beat. And to have that combination where you've got a mind like Brady and you get a good coordinator on the other side of the ball, and you can just ignore that whole side of the football and then just stick with your defense and get your defense playing at the most peak level you can. You combine those 2 things, man, it's really tough to beat. And that's why they have been, the gold standard over this time. I don't hear this cheating bullshit. Oh, they deflated footballs in a championship game that they won by 35 fucking points. Like, come on. And then they go and they're like, well, they got all the scrutiny on them and the footballs are checked like a hawk. And then Brady just basically dices up and runs up the, yardage like crazy on one of the best defenses that there ever has been in the Seattle Seahawks. They just have a combination that you're not seeing, and the league is not moving towards. The league is moving away from that kind of football, which is bananas to me because it's a copycat league. Yet they're copycatting like the newest, freshest, most exciting part of the league, but they're not going after the ones like, oh, well, the guy that keeps winning every year somehow. Nobody's trying to replicate that. Everyone's trying to go, let's get some offense. Let's get some more offense, more points. And then the defense starts suffering, and then you run into a team that can slow your offense down a little bit, then you're fucked.
Yes.
That's what happened to Andy Reid this week.
You know what? But you know what it is the offensive mindedness and all of the air show and the points and all of that stuff that made the AFL popular in the 60s, which got the NFL to merge with them. That's the sexier thing. That's the sexy thing, is the amount of points. That's what people want to see. That's what's the NFL in the NFL's mind is what's going to help TV ratings, because it's all about TV ratings as far as the league office is concerned. It's about TV ratings. It's about revenue generating. What gets the fans excited? Lots of points gets fans excited. Let's start moving towards that. whereas the old guard coaches, now the Belichicks, and I mean, I can't even really say the Reeds now because Andy Reid's kind of moving towards the, super offense style.
He did hire a defensive coordinator there, though.
He did. He got Steve Spagnuolo, and that was a very, very good move on their part because they were rumoring Rex Ryan there, and I'm like, but no, Spagnuolo,
cheeseburger is safe.
Yes, yes, indeed. Could you imagine both of them wearing red in the same sideline?
Yeah, red vest.
red vest. I don't know. No burgers are safe. Feet too, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, that's that. And so we both got the Patriots for that one. And Brandon, I know you are excited. The AAF is soon coming upon us. And when we convene, we'll convene next week one more time. I think what I want to do, and I was actually talking about this with Ryan, not on the BLTD podcast, but off of it when we wrapped up with that. That I want to try. I think I'm going to get not only AAF
Talk Weekly.
We're going to have some AAF Talk Weekly. Don't you worry about that. And I'm going to commit to the Sir Romeo style report.
I can't wait till we open and close the franchise.
Literally, I think
we can get through the first season and we're like, you know what? It really didn't work out very well. We lost a shit ton of money. We're folding again.
The funeral podcast will be
time for the XFL next year.
Well, yeah, no, I don't know about the XFL. I'm kind of like, they tried that before and whatever. I don't know why I got so into the fleet, but I did, and it works. There's nobody that there's nothing that I can get into with the XFL right now because they've gone to. What am I going to go? St. Louis? Nobody likes St. Louis. St. Louis doesn't even like St. Louis. But, they have teams in existing NFL markets, which the idea originally, or so I thought, was to not have teams that are already in NFL markets and build up other markets that are nearby, and they did not do that. So, I don't know. The XFL is what it is. But the AAF, which, by the way, I read that not only do they have the broadcasting partnership with CBS, but they're also looking into NFL Network, and the NFL is looking into picking them up. So the way, again, with the brain trust that's behind the AAF, let's take the talent aside, just the people that are in place in management there. I think the NFL, they have enough clout with the NFL that the AAF could be a sustainable farm, like minor league system, which, quite frankly, pro football needs. They need a minor league system, like Major League Baseball does. The NBA has the D League. Why not invest in a spring league? Give yourself, give some players another chance to play or whatever, keep fine tuning their games or whatever. The season ends in April, so it's not going to mess up the the NFL draft or anything or mini camps or any of that type of stuff that begin in May and June and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised to see the AAF be the farm system for the NFL. And especially if they end up landing a deal where their games are broadcast on the NFL Network. Yeah, I would say it would all be, certain that we'll be cheering for the fleet for years to come.
We'll see. I hope you're right.
All right.
You're right, man.
All right. We'll convene next week. I think I'm going to try and round up Ryan Wolf and probably even Perez. Maybe even a few others like Eric Emanon and whoever, and try and get everybody on here for a big FTW podcast, Super Bowl preview kind of gimmick where we're all just shooting the shit and talking about that and just have some fun with it as we go into the Super Bowl. And then of course we're definitely going to have a post Super Bowl reaction, which will also be our pregame to the AAF season. So we got some stuff coming up. We're not going anywhere. Illness be damned. We'll be here. So Brandon, got anything else for the listening audience today before I wrap this up?
No. Just quit whining, everybody. Enjoy what's fucking happening in front of you. Just fucking deal with it, man.
Allow yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, allow yourselves to enjoy something. You know, what I'm trying to do.
Fucking joyless. That's what it is.
Well, right, and I'm trying to kind of, you know, circle this particular podcast back to sports banter and playful ball busting. And I know we got very political, you know, a few episodes during this particular season, and you know, so much so to the point where we even had to go to overtime on the JC Money Show to vent out our frustrations there and whatever. But and I don't want this to be a gigantic discussion about what's going on with the government shutdown and politics and everything like that, but there's just so much shit that's thrown in our face, whether it's political, whether it's sports, whether it's something, you know, some kind of injustice happening, whether it's, there's so much negativity and so much crap that you see in your face. So much so to the point where I even had to do a social media blackout myself, and I'm a social media king. You know, I'm always on the damn thing, tweeting out jokes and stuff like that, and getting blocked by Tommy Lauren because I called her the C word. But you know, these things, there's so much negativity. Allow yourself to just enjoy the Super Bowl, enjoy the game, enjoy it for what it is.
Right.
You know,
it's a game. At the end of the day.
That's all it is. That's all it is. It's a game. So
2 weeks of bullshit and then a game.
And with that, I mean, I'm not going to enjoy the Pro Bowl. I'm not even going to watch the Pro Bowl. But
Pro Bowl, as our old friend Chucky Gates Sr.
Oh, Chuckles, indeed. He was there, and we still need our other two wishes, but whatever. Anyways, we are going to wrap this up here. So thanks again for tuning in this rather truncated episode. I think a little bit quicker than we normally did it, because quite frankly, I'm tired. I want to get to bed. So with that, we will convene next week, and hopefully have some guests on here. But if not,
we forgot one little thing.
What happened?
One quick blurb. One little thing.
Hurry up.
So we've been having the discussion, you know, obviously everyone wants to talk. Is Brady the GOAT? Is he the GOAT? You know, he is, in my mind, he's got more Super Bowl rings than anybody else, any other player. So, yeah, I would give it to him. But the other name that always gets floated was his childhood idol, Mr. Joe Cool himself, Joe Montana. So he came out today.
I know where this is going.
He invests heavily in the most successful marijuana business in California right now. So does that put Joe back on top?
Yeah.
Does Tom Brady have to get out and open up a meth lab?
There. He could be the new Heisenberg.
He could be.
Yes. Joe Cool is still cool. Hell, maybe when I go to San Diego for a Fleet game in 2 years, maybe I'll buy some of the Joe Cool ganja. Who knows? But that's going to do it for us this week. Thanks for tuning in. Brandon, good day to you, sir.
Good day to you as well.
So long, everybody. Good night now. Flavor Flav, what do you think of that Joe Cool ganja?
Yeah, boy!
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.